Hello, Akron, and welcome to the ZTV Sports Report. I'm Zach Fuller.
And I'm John Alfieri. Hey, Zach, remember last show when we asked the swimming and diving head coach his thoughts on going into the MAC championship?
Of course, John. And if you haven't been paying attention, you missed out on the news that our own swimming and diving team took home the MAC championship for the 5th year in a row.
To be honest, sounds like something straight out of a fairy tale.
Well, the championship was held at Ohio University, so really it came out of Athens.
It's all Greek to me, Zach. Not only did the team place first, but they also beat their own record with the highest points earned at the meet, topping their score from 2016 with a point total of 827.5.
Wow. You know, they really blew the other teams out of the water. Did you know that Eastern Michigan came in second with a total of only 590.5 points?
Hey, if I can't talk about pole vaulting anymore, then you can't make any more bad puns.
Yeah, that sounds like a promise I'm not going to be able to keep. But my puns are entertaining, however.
Whatever, how about we actually get back to the results of the meet that allowed the Zips to rack up so many points?
The most notable wins for Akron comes from the 200 butterfly event where the team nabbed the top 4 spots. The top spot went to Mackenzie Vargas with a time of 1 minute 57.05 seconds, which beat the current MAC championship record time.
The team also won a variety of special awards, including Freshman Swimmer of the Year, Paulina Nogaj, and also for the 5th time, Brian Parisi won Swimming Coach of the Year.
Hey, how about we get back on land and talk about how the track team did at the MAC championship?
Before we do that, I think we should share our exclusive interview with Matt Ludwig, who has performed beyond expectations this season.
You know what? I told you if you're going to talk about pole vaulting one more time, I was done.
Zach,
I'm not doing it. Nope.
Where are you going? Who are you going to tell your terrible puns to?
We're here with Matt Ludwig from the track and field team. Matt, so in our second show, we had our host John tell us in great detail the 6 components of a pole vault attempt. Now, can we show you that and give us feedback on whether or not he was accurate?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me get you set up here.
Well, there are 6 parts that make up the crucial jump in this sport. The approach, plant and takeoff, the swing up, extension, the turn, and finally, the flyaway. Now, the approach is pretty self-explanatory. This is where the pole vaulter begins counting down from a certain number, depending on their strides, before they reach the box. When the vaulter approaches the box, they plant the pole at the front of the box, take 3 final steps, and then jump into the air, causing the pole to slide to the back of the box. While in the air, they begin to extend their body, keeping a tight grip on the pole, wanting to use the energy from the pole's bend to propel them over the bar. The swing up is a race against the pole, unbending, because it causes a double pendulum effect, both the pole and the vaulter pivoting from this movement. As the pole completely unbends, the vaulter extends their body over the bar and begins making a 180-degree turn, now facing the bar. And if all of that goes well, then the flyaway will be flawless, as the pole vaulter soars over the bar, pushing away the pole and landing on the mat with the bar still in place.
It was really accurate. It was pretty good. The whole goal of the technique and everything you do is to conserve energy, and what you put into it from the approach and the plant, you want to keep during your swing and inversion all the way through your turn and push off. So, yeah, really well worded. Nice in-depth breakdown of pole vault.
Going off the steps in the attempt, tell us your stride count. Can you tell us that?
I come from 9 lefts, so 18 strides, and I have a little bit of a skip in there, which comes out to about 140 feet. The step moves around a lot, and it's important that it's really precise. So, like, my takeoff is about 14 feet out from the back of the box, which is kind of precise. But you can learn to play with that a little bit. But if you don't have good posture at your plant, it's really difficult to maintain a good vault after that. So that's one of the biggest things I work on is having a really solid plant.
How do you bounce back after a bad attempt?
Well, it's tough because it's more of a mental game than it is a physical game, honestly. When you really hit the technical stuff right, the jump doesn't feel very difficult physically. So the tough part is being as precise as you can. So really it's analyzing what you did wrong, whether it's you're having to move your step or you're running a bit differently or you're not inverting as tightly to the pole as you could. There's a ton of different things that could go wrong. So it's really between yourself and your coach analyzing where the jump was lacking and focusing more on that the next attempt.
What has been your biggest accomplishment here at Akron?
For sure the outdoor NCAA championship last year. Jumped in a really competitive field, came out and was I believe the 6th NCAA champion at Akron, so That's something that'll stay forever, regardless of anything else that I accomplish here.
Now we know that you're doing great things here. If you had to summarize your experience here at Akron in 3 words, what would they be?
Does it have to be like a phrase, or can they be like?
It can be whatever you want.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I would definitely make family one of those words. I don't think I'll be able to make it like a phrase. I'll just have to kind of pick 3 that fit.
That's perfect.
Family's a really good one. There's a really great group of track athletes and just students at the school that I've kind of been accepted into, and so that's really great. It helps you get through school and through the tough training days all the easier. I guess knowledge would have to be the second word. Coach Mitchell is one of the best pole vault coaches in the country. He's been coaching longer than I've been alive. He's very well experienced in the sport, done it his whole life. So what he passes on to me is invaluable, and he's one of the best at it. And then I guess just sort of competitiveness is probably the big third word. That's a big focus here with us is being competitive and going out to win meets and not just think about the height that we jump. So that helps and pays off a lot in the postseason championship meets. So.
What are you doing, and how excited are you to prepare for your NCAA meetup?
It's going really well. I have a month left to prepare. I've been right on pace with where I wanted to be all season. I'm coming into form a bit more. I'm jumping more consistently some of the highest bars in my life. So I'm really preparing well for it. And as far as training, we're just really focusing on getting a pretty high jump count on jump days when we can. Pole vault's a sport that you can't pole vault every single day. So the days that you do get to pole vault, and you really have to take advantage of them, focus on improving in as many ways as you can. So for the probably 7 or 8 jump days that I'll have left until NCAAs, I'll be focusing on maximizing those and trying to have as clean and good-looking jumps as possible.
Well, hopefully you can take your knowledge, turn it into competitiveness at the meet, and your family will be right there, and I hope you do well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, after seeing that interview, I can understand a little better about why people are impressed with his performance this season. Not to mention the fact that he seemed to enjoy watching your description of the event on our last show, John.
I mean, not to toot my own horn, but...
No. Let's not do that. During the last weekend in February, the track and field team competed in the MAC Championship hosted by Bowling Green.
Continuing to win and literally beat their own time, Dara Perry had a time of 8.31 seconds in the women's 60-meter hurdle, creating a new school record title and winning the title, of course.
An impressive title win for Akron came in the men's high jump, where Curtis Richardson barely outjumped his teammate Cody Stein by clearing the bar at a height of 2.18 meters.
The Zips will also be competing in the 2018 NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships on March 9th and 10th, hosted by Texas A&M in College Station, Texas.
When we come back, we're going to pass it over to the latest in our men's and women's basketball teams.
Hello, Zips, and welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report. It's not a secret that lately our women's basketball team has been in a bit of a slump, but a recent win at Eastern Michigan with a score of 77-65 shows that the team does have what it takes to win.
Unfortunately, that same energy has not been present in the games following this road victory, with 3 straight losses, including a loss to rival Kent State. Here with the highlights of their game against Miami at home is Allison Rhodes.
The Akron Zips returned home for their first game in 2 weeks at the James A. Rhodes Arena on Wednesday, February 21st. The Zips faced the Miami Redhawks for the second time this season. Miami entered the night 16-9 on the season and 8-6 in the MAC play. Akron entered the match 8-17 on the season and 2-12 in the MAC play. In the first quarter, Akron struggled offensively. They scored only 11 points in the first 10 minutes. 6 turnovers in the first quarter allowed the Redhawks to take an 8-point lead heading into the second quarter. Akron only scored 9 more points in the second quarter and made 3 of the 11 attempts. 4 more turnovers in the second quarter allowed Miami to outscore the Zips 34-20 heading into halftime. The Zips only made 8 of 23 field goal attempts in the first half. In the second half of the game, Akron attempted more field goal shots but only made 12 of 39 attempts, while Miami made 14 of their 24 attempts. With 59 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Miami took their largest lead over Akron, extending their lead by 29 points. Akron lost the game to the Redhawks, losing 77-50. Junior Megan Shefsick returned to the lineup for the Zips after missing a total of 11 games. She scored 6 points on the night. Destiny Perkins made her first career start for the Zips. She led the team with 15 points on the night and scored 10 of the 15 points in the second half. This was the 8th time in the last 12 games that Perkins has scored in the double digits. Here is head coach Jody Kess with their thoughts on the game.
You win together and you lose together, and I thought their players outplayed us and their coaches outcoached us. I didn't think we did a good job as a coaching staff, and I don't think our players did a good job of following the game plan and being aggressive. We went to the line 5 times the whole entire game. That's a good team that Miami has. They're well coached and they don't make a lot of mistakes. They have a great point guard that makes great decisions. Today they had 6 players in double figures. They have great spacing. They have great help side. And, we just dribble the ball too much and keep the ball on one side of the court. We don't have player movement or ball movement, and it made it very difficult to run anything that we wanted to when you keep the ball on the same side of the court. So give them credit, She does, like I said, she's done a great job with this program with a lot of the same kids that were back from last year. So, give credit where it's due, and they had a great game plan, and they did some things that gave us some problems, and probably other coaches will probably exploit those same things. So again, give her some credit, and we did a poor job, and some of my fears that I thought would happen today happened in the second half. First half, I thought our defense was good, and we struggled offensively. In the second half, I thought offense was better, and defensively we struggled. So we got to put a 40-minute game together, and we got to play a much better on Saturday if we expect to beat Kent State. But we didn't shoot the ball very well today. 32%. 32% is not going to win a lot of games, and Miami shot 52%. Too many breakdowns when we did try to trap them. Too many easy bunnies. Right? Way too many easy bunnies. They didn't have those in the first half, but in the second half they were killing us on the zone and easy bunnies. So we had to get out of it and go to man, which really didn't want to play them in a man. So we have to play better, and there's a reason why they're 9-6, and a reason why they've probably won the last 7 or 8 games. So.
Akron goes on the road for 2 games and returns home on Saturday, March 3rd to face Ohio University for their home finale. The Akron Zips return home to face Ohio University for their senior day and home finale on Saturday, March 3rd. The Akron Zips honored and said their goodbyes to seniors Greta Burry, Caitlin Flowers, and Lauren Hung. Akron entered the match 8-20 on the season, while the Ohio Bobcats entered 15-13 on the season. All 3 seniors started the game for Akron. Flowers scored first for the Zips. For the first 2 minutes of the match, the teams kept the score very close. The Bobcats began to add to their lead, and going into the second quarter, they led the Zips 25-19. With 6 minutes and 46 seconds left in the second quarter, the Zips tied the Bobcats at 25 with a jumper by Caitlin Berry. The Bobcats would then take the lead again with 2 free throws. With 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the second, the Zips took the lead with a 3-point field goal made by Lauren Hung. The Zips would maintain this lead into halftime and went into the locker room leading the Bobcats 39-35. The Bobcats and the Zips struggled offensively in the third quarter. The Zips held the Bobcats to just 7 points. Combined, both teams shot 6 of 35 attempts. Going into the fourth quarter, the Zips were up 49-42. With 4 minutes and 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Bobcats came within 1 point of the Akron Zips. The Zips would then extend their lead by 3 points with a layup. Gabby Burris of the Bobcats then scored a layup of her own, decreasing the Zips' lead to just 1, again with 2 minutes and 8 seconds of the game remaining. Destiny Perkins made a critical steal from the Bobcats, which led to a foul by the Bobcats on Shawnee Edmonds. Edmonds scored on these 2 key free throw attempts with 12 seconds of the game remaining, allowing the Zips to extend their lead by 3. The Bobcats scored on a layup, again leaving the Zips up by just 1 point with 9 seconds left. With 6 seconds remaining, the Bobcats committed another foul on Edmonds, allowing her to make 2 more free throws to secure the win for the Zips. The Akron Zips won the match 62-59. Here is head coach Jody Kess with Shawnee Edmonds to discuss her thoughts on the game and the team's mind process heading into the MAC tournament.
Great feeling when it's senior day and our 3 seniors, Lauren and Greta and Caitlin, can win on senior day, and I always remember that. A great day for Caitlin, had an opportunity to get on the court. And I want to thank Ohio University and Bob Bolden for allowing us to be able to put her on the court to score 2 points. She's been through so much the last 2 years with her knee surgeries. Well, we've been working really hard on our getting the ball inbounds, and I thought our kids did a great job of just playing basketball. This is the play that we run, and if they take it away, then find something else. And I thought we did a really good job today of finishing, and that's something that we haven't done great in the past, and we'll continue to work on that tomorrow because we know Ohio's a great team, and we're probably going to end up having to play them again, is my understanding. And so both teams have 1 day, prep time, which is good for both teams because we just play. They have a starter that's been that's out, and we expect her to be on the court on Monday. But today we're going to enjoy the victory today, and enjoy it for the seniors, enjoy it for the team and the coaches that have worked extremely hard over this last year with all the situations that we've gone through.
Before the game, I texted all the seniors, told them to go out, play like it's their last time ever playing again. Just enjoy themselves and get the win.
This team is on the road for their next game against Bowling Green coming up on Wednesday, February 28th. Hopefully, we can end the month with a win. Good luck, ladies.
Moving on to men's basketball, things haven't been going so well either. After a 10-point loss to rival Kent State, the Zips traveled to Bowling Green, where they narrowly won the game with only a 2-point differential, 81-79, in favor of Akron.
This momentum wasn't enough to keep things going, though, as the Zips fell to Miami with another 2-point difference in overtime. Here with the highlights of the game is Rob Zaginer.
On Saturday, February 24th, the University of Akron men's basketball team played host to the Miami Redhawks. This would be the second time the two teams would meet as the Zips looked to split the season series after losing in Oxford 79-64 on January 30th. The Zips would start the game hot, finding openings in the Redhawks defense and using them to their advantage to quickly score points under the hoop and from long range. The Zips used good ball movement to help set up others for opportunities to score. To go along with their strong offense, the Zips also played lockdown defense on the Redhawks, recording 3 blocks and forcing 10 turnovers, which Akron was able to use to convert 7 points in the first half. To emphasize this, Akron held Miami to 16% shooting from the field, while shooting 52% themselves. Sophomore guard Daniel Utomi led the Zips into halftime, leading the Redhawks 31-17. The Zips came out of the break looking to add to their lead while continuing to shut down the Redhawks. They were able to implement the same high-octane level of play as they did in the first half early in the second half. Akron's Daniel Utomi kept the energy going with his strong two-handed dunk, and graduate student guard Malcolm Duvivier shuts down Miami's Nicky Sibande. However, the Redhawks wouldn't disappear. Senior forward Logan McLean went off, scoring 19 points in the second half and bringing the Redhawks back into striking distance. However, Akron's Daniel Utomi would answer McLean's scoring outburst, refusing to let the Redhawks take the lead. Despite the Redhawks' late-game push, the Zips tried to hold on and take home the win by stopping a last-second layup at the basket. But junior guard Darian Ringo is able to put back the layup, tying the game at 51 and sending it into overtime. Akron and Miami would keep the score close in the overtime period, exchanging basket after basket. However, as the game neared its end, Miami was able to take the lead and were able to hold off the Zips, winning the game 64-62. Sophomore guard Daniel Utomi led the Zips with a game-high 24 points, while senior forward Logan McLean led the Redhawks with 23 points in their victory. After the tough loss, head coach John Gross had this to say.
Obviously, I'm proud of our guys. I thought it was the best defensive performance we've had all year. Certainly the stat sheet shows that. And our effort, our attitude, our coachability, our toughness, our grit today was outstanding. You know, we didn't get beat because of those areas. We played the Akron way today, which is defined by those areas. And I'm proud of our guys for that. Defensively, it's something we certainly can build on. You know, at the end of the day, the outcome didn't go our way because of 3 reasons. 1, second chance points, and then the turnover points were plus 12 in their favor, 24-12, 19 turnovers. Now, it wasn't because we were sloppy. We needed to be a little tougher with the ball. They initiated a lot of them. They play that way. Give them credit. And then the third area is we just didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but much different ball game by our crew than what we played in Oxford from an Akron way standpoint. So something we can build on. Now we got to get those guys refreshed mentally and physically. I had 3 guys play 42, and 43 minutes. I probably should have got them out a little bit more. That's on me. But I'd much rather play that way and be in a battle like that than certainly the way that we played in Oxford.
The Zips are back in action Tuesday, February 27th, as they travel to Buffalo, New York to take on the Buffalo Bulls.
The last 2 games of the regular season will be on the road against Buffalo on Tuesday, February 27th, and finally Kent State at home on Friday, March 2nd.
Following these games, we were able to sit down with head coach John Gross and players to discuss their mindset going into the end of the season and the MAC tournament.
I'm Allison Rose, joined here today with the men's basketball head coach John Gross and 2 of his players, Malcolm DeVivier and Jamond Ivey.
Thank you guys all for joining me today.
Thank you.
So Coach Gross, I wanted to start off with a couple questions for you. So this is your first season with the Zips. Has the season gone as you expected it?
I've had a blast. I told one of my former bosses yesterday, the last 4 weeks for me, seeing how these guys have played, how much they've grown, how much better we're getting, and not only, thinking about, obviously my primary focus is on making sure we're ready to go tomorrow and finishing strong, but I just like what these guys have built, not only for what it's going to do for us this year, but long term. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm having a lot of fun.
What have been some of the challenges coming into a new team for you?
Well, I think anytime you take over a new program, new faces, these guys are getting used to me. I'm getting used to them. It's a different way of doing things. Doesn't make it wrong or right. There's different ways to skin a cat. But the buy-in that these guys have had, the way they've come around to what we've made important the last month or so, couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to coach them and be with them on a daily basis and see the improvement that guys have made individually as well as collectively.
Zips currently are sitting at the bottom of the MAC. Heading into the tournament, what are your game plans?
Well, we're just taking it one day at a time. What I will tell you is we've played well enough the last 6 games and we've practiced well enough that our guys and I believe that we can play with and beat anybody. We believe that. So it's we can't control where we were 2 months ago or 3 months ago. We're not real worried about that. We're more concerned about tomorrow's game, playing well tomorrow, continuing to get better. I do feel like we're playing our best basketball as we start to hit our stride here at the very last game and obviously conference tournament time starting on Monday.
So like you said, you're playing Kent State tomorrow. What are your thoughts going into the game? What are your hopes for it?
Just an appreciation for being able to coach in the game. I know these guys appreciate the opportunity to play in the game. It's a great game. It's a rivalry game. We enjoyed the battle and embraced the challenge in game 1. Thought we played well. It just didn't go our way. We get another opportunity to play them again tomorrow. Obviously, picking one key for us, our guys know we need to rebound the ball. That's a big thing tomorrow that we'll be looking at statistically throughout the course of the game.
And expectations for next year, what are you hoping for?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not necessarily focused on next year, to be honest. What I'm more concerned about is the process, and our guys have been consumed with that. Obviously, we came here to compete and win championships. That hasn't changed. But the way that you do that is by embracing every day and honoring the process. So I'm much more concerned about that. Now, ultimately, do we know where we want to get to? Oh, no question. Those guys know whether that's this year, whether that's next year, they know that. So, but at the end of the day, what we can control is what we deal with every day, and that's what I'm most proud of these guys. I think the last month we've done that.
So Malcolm, I have a couple questions for you. So you're a graduate student. You have had a lot of experience playing basketball. So what's it like coming here, playing basketball at Akron?
I just really love the crowd and just how all my coaches and all my teammates embraced me. It just really felt like a family atmosphere, and that just made it really easy to come in here and just give my all to the team and leave it all on the court for Akron.
Right. So what are your plans after graduation?
After graduating, getting my master's degree, I have goals of playing professional basketball, whether that's overseas or in the development league or in the NBA. The ultimate goal is to make it to the NBA, but the route I take there, it might differ. So I'm just trying to get better every day and continue to work on my craft. And like Coach said, just enjoy the process. And I feel like the destination will take care of itself.
What are your hopes going into the Kent State game and the MAC tournament?
My hopes for the Kent State game is obviously to win. It's my senior night. I'm trying to leave it all on the floor and trying to, leave JAR, with a good memory. So my goal is to win that game. And then going to the MAC tournament, we've had the same goal since, day one, win the MAC tournament, go to the NCAA tournament. So that hasn't changed. And, no matter what the route we took to get there, the ultimate goal is still the same. And I feel like we still can achieve that goal.
Jamon, so you're a Cleveland native. What's it like playing this close to home?
It's amazing. My whole family get to not only watch, they get to come. I have a lot of people there every game to support me. So, obviously it's a blessing to be able to play in front of my family throughout high school and now college too. So it's just a good feeling.
So about a month ago, you had your season high 48 points in a game. What was that game like for you?
Like I told the people before, it was amazing, but we didn't win. So it's I didn't really get the full feeling of how people expect me to feel. So I was still I was mad, but obviously it was an accomplishment. And I'm blessed and I'm grateful for that, but we didn't get the outcome we wanted. So it was a good game, a big game, but obviously our goal is to want to win, and we want to win.
Because of that, you did win the MAC East Division Player of the Week. How did that feel to win that award?
That felt great. It felt good to share that with my family. And my family enjoyed it, But like I said, it was bittersweet, but it was obviously a blessing, and I thank God for that.
And you have 1 year left. What are your hopes for next season?
obviously we want to win a championship this year and next year. You know, I want to make it to the NCAA tournament. That's my goal, and I know that's coach goal and all my teammates' goal. So, I mean, next year we just want to keep doing what we're doing this year and build on to the future and try to win a championship.
Thank you guys again so much.
Thank you for having us.
And back to you guys.
That's going to conclude this installment of the ZTV Sports Report. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page at ZTV Sports Report. Stay up to date with everything Akron Zips Athletics.
Stay classy, Akron.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.